And I wanted to close talking about the Uvalde shooting. Of course, we are all heartbroken this morning about yesterday's mass shooting at Robb Elementary in Uvalde, Texas. 19 children and 2 adults were killed. And again, let me underscore that, 19 children and 2 adults. So this happened 10 years after Sandy Hook and 4 years after the school shooting in Santa Fe, Texas, and a high school in Parkland, Florida. So in the last 2 weeks, if you count what happened in Buffalo, New York, and then what happened in Uvalde, Texas on yesterday, 19 and 10, 29 people just in those 2 mass shootings, 29 in the last 2 weeks. And that's just those 2 shootings. Look, we've offered our prayers and our condolences, but I'm going to agree with the coach from last night. You've got to do more than prayers and condolences, and enough is enough. I know there have been some, on social media and others calling about us canceling the convention, at the NRA convention that is scheduled in a few days. But let me say this. That convention has been on the books for more than 2 years. Okay? It is a contractual arrangement. And so, we simply cannot cancel a conference or a convention because we may not agree with the subject matter. We simply can't do that. And that would subject the city to a number of lawsuits on a convention that's been on the books for 2 years, and we seek to cancel it because we do not necessarily agree with the subject matter. So we can't do that. But I think the greater question is, why are elected officials coming to the NRA to speak? What message does that send? And I do not think that the governor or U.S. Senator Ted Cruz or any other congresspersons going and speaking sends the right message. So it's not about us canceling our convention. It's about elected officials at the highest level in our state going and speaking and endorsing those policies. And that's wrong. And you can't pray and send condolences on one day and then be going and championing guns on the next. That's wrong. So people should be asking the governor and U.S. Ted Cruz, Senator Ted Cruz, and others, why are you going there to speak? And I would tell you I was a little disappointed with Senator Ted Cruz because he said the answer to this gun violence is to put guns in the hands of our teachers. Are you serious? Are you serious? So it's the answer to what happened in Buffalo, for example, is to put guns in the hands of the store clerks. Is that how we deal with that? This what's happening? Until voters put this on the ballot, and what I mean by that, in the hands, looking at people who are espousing these power problems, it's not going to change. I encourage people to go and pull up House Bill 1927, permitless carry. Okay? No permit, no license, no training. And look at the people who voted for House Bill 1927. Pull up the list of those who voted for House Bill 1927. And I have not heard any of them who voted for House Bill 1927 talk glowingly about their vote on House Bill 1927. In fact, they don't talk about it at all. There's no conversation at all. Okay? So they won't talk about it, but we have to talk about it. Okay? But yesterday, 19 of our children. And they are our children. You may not have given biological birth to them, but they are our children. Okay? And they were like in the second and third and fourth grade. So let me just put it another way, Councilman Robinson. 19 of our babies. 19. If that doesn't force a change, and this is an American problem, okay? People talk about mental health. Mental health is not just in the United States, it's all over the globe. But what's happening in our schools is an American problem because we are more protective of our guns than we are of our babies. I want you to think about that now. We in our country, we are more protective of our guns than we are of our babies. So this morning, 19 families are mourning this morning. So I'm not just going to offer prayers and condolences to those families. I'm offering prayers and condolences for our country. We'll be praying for our country because we are clearly, our values are messed up when we are willing to sacrifice our children to protect guns. Our values are messed up. And we no longer can be nuanced about this. Okay? You can't be nuanced. Can't be. Because legislators, elected officials like us, we are the ones who are putting these policies in place. And we allow our governor and United States senators and others to then go to the NRA after 19 babies have been murdered. Is that not messed up? That's messed up. So let me appeal to our faith-based community. One more time. Because how can you love somebody that you don't see and do nothing for those that you see every day? How can you love somebody that you don't see, whose face has not even yet been born, and you don't protect the children that you see every day? Help me to understand that. Help me to understand that. These are our children. And we have to protect them. Somebody asked me a question, what would you say to the children, you know? But I think before you speak anyway to the children, parents and adults, we have to speak to ourselves. So I don't want to just talk to the children. Let me talk to the parents, to the adults. I'm going to close with one last example. When you get on the airplane, that message used to be from the flight attendant, now it's just from the message coming on says that if by chance this plane loses pressure, the oxygen mask will fall down. And you know what they say? Before you place the oxygen mask on your children, you must first place it on yourselves. And then you place it on your children. And you know why? Before you can save the children, adults, we must first save ourselves. The children are not doing this to themselves. It's the adults. And now this poison is getting into this younger generation. This is the second 18-year-old, the second one that has taken lives in this country. So I don't want to be nice anymore. Governor, you're wrong. Senator Ted Cruz, you're wrong. I don't want to be nice anymore. Okay? And the media has to go to them like they come to me and ask, what are you going to do about it? Don't give them a pass. And don't allow them to keep saying we are praying, and then voting in House Bill 1927. They do not go together. They do not go together. I'm sorry. You can't create an environment for guns and then expect not for these guns not to be used against our children. And more children are dying because of guns in this country now than any time before, because adults have created an environment for guns. Now, if they agree with what they did on House Bill 1927, go before a camera, go before the public, and say, we voted for 1927, we're proud of what we voted for it, and we'll do it again. Go out in public and say that. But the answer is not to put more guns in the hands of teachers or grocery store clerks. That's not the answer. This 18-year-old went and purchased those guns a few days ago. Are you kidding me? And I don't even apologize for taking the time, because 19 of our children are dead. 19? Not one or two, 19. And 19 families are hurting. And 2 adults are dead. In America.